Hi, Chris.
Hello, Pokemon fans! I'm Professor K for the Pokemon Evolutionaries, and as you may have heard, that Hi Chris was from Branden Jackson, who was on the right side of the screen, versus N, of course, from the Pokemon Evolutionaries, in a League Challenge match over the weekend at our Spring Hill Pokemon League Colossal Comics in Spring Hill, Florida. Now, this was the top match. Of course, you know, League Challenges, they don't go based upon top cuts and stuff like this. This was just the best two people facing off against each other. First place ended up being the person who won this match, and then fourth place was the loser of this match. So there was a lot at stake here. And as you can see, Branden starts out there with a Zubat, while N starts out with a Hawlucha. Now, of course, Hawlucha is not the Pokemon you want to start with versus a Zubat. So yeah, fortunately N was going first, so he was just able to attach and pass to Branden, who is going to play a Hypnotoxic Laser here. Of course, you'll see some cuts here and there. I cut out all the shuffling for you guys to make it a little bit easier of a watching experience. Flips tails on that Hypnotoxic Laser, and we'll put Hawlucha under poison. Now, Branden then is going to play an Ultra Ball, tossing away a Hypnotoxic Laser and a Lysander, and he's going to get out the bane of everyone's existence, Seismitoad EX, and attaches a double colorless energy. Going to retreat for free with Zubat due to its ability, being able to retreat as long as no energy is attached to it. And he is going to Quaking Punch for 30 damage on Hawlucha, 40 total damage due to poison, locking N out of items, which is really, really bad. N is playing Medicham, Lucario, Hawlucha. And it's a very item-based deck. It's really the strongest point to it, being able to Karina for things that you need, like Ultra Ball or Repeat Ball and stuff like that, is definitely a major thing. But here you see he evolves his Meditite into a Medicham. Lucario gets a strong energy attached to it, and he plays an N. So both players have shuffled their hands into their decks and gonna redraw. Now, the Hawlucha versus Seismitoad matchup is actually really good for N, but you know, sometimes it's not enough, and especially being poisoned hurts a lot. He's going to get knocked out next turn. So N's going to put down a Celebi EX with the Time Recall ability, allowing Medicham to attack with one energy to use Meditite's attack while still taking advantage of the Omega Barrage ability, or ancient trait, that Medicham has, being able to hit twice. Alright, so Branden's going to play a Super Scoop Up here, so that damage against Seismitoad EX is negated completely. He's able to pick it up, put it back down, and attach the energy to it, promoting the Zubat, which he'll be able to retreat back into the Seismitoad, and it's like it never happened. He's going to play a Zerosic here, getting rid of that strong energy off of Lucario, which is very, very unfortunate for N, and he's going to Quaking Punch for the knockout on Hawlucha for the 30 damage that was needed to knock that out, which he would have died to poison even if it wasn't. So N's going to promote Medicham here, and he is going to play another N. So each player was going to shuffle their hands back into their decks. It's a very unfavorable matchup for N to play against a Seismitoad deck, but Seismitoad Bats is even worse because you're able to snipe these low HP Pokemon like Meditite and Medicham off the bench pretty easily. So it looks like N did not draw into any energy whatsoever there, which is extremely, extremely bad for him. And he's got to pass to Branden, who's going to play a Burbank City Gym and then a Hypnotoxic Laser. Branden rolls his dice there off the table, so he re-rolls there, and it's a tail. So N is going to stay awake. His Medicham is going to stay awake for that, but it is still going to take 30 damage before the beginning of his next turn due to Burbank City Gym, so that is a very bad thing for him. So we see another N played here by Branden. Lots of N's played in this matchup. I'm going to attach a Muscle Band to Seismitoad, putting a Zubat on the bench, and there we see another Quaking Punch for a grand total of 80 damage. On a Medicham that's only 90 HP, that is extremely, extremely hurtful. That means he's going to die at the end of this turn due to poison, no matter if he can knock that Burbank City Gym out of play or not. So we see him bench a Hawlucha here, and he's going to attach a strong energy to Medicham, so he will be able to at least attack this turn. He is going to play a Professor Sycamore, discarding his hand away, drawing 7 fresh new cards, and then he's going to bump that stadium for a Fighting Stadium. So now Medicham is going to be able to attack with Smack. Now, as you see, endpoint to his cards there, he had the Silver Bangle in his hand, which would have dealt a knockout had he been able to play items, but Seismitoad locking him out items is what prevented it. So instead, he's going to be able to smack 2 times due to Omega Barrage for a grand total of 120 damage. He would have been able to hit for 60 more had he been able to attach that Silver Bangle, but of course, that Seismitoad ruins everything for this deck. And Branden there bumps End Stadium away. No more Fighting Stadium, looking at another Burbank City Gym. Now he's going to play Golbat and Sneaky Bite for 20 damage on the active Hawlucha and attach a double colorless energy to that Golbat. So there he's going to Sycamore away his hand, or Juniper, whichever one it is. I don't know which one he plays. I didn't catch that. And then he's going to play another Seismitoad on the bench. So we see a Quaking Punch here for 50 damage, now knocking out Hawlucha 70 HP due to that Sneaky Bite as well. So Branden takes a pretty sizable lead in this match, and N is not looking too good over there with only 2 Pokemon left, one of them being a Celebi EX that he cannot attack with. So N bumps the stadium again. We got the Stadium Wars going on here, and N is going to Teammates for a Meditite and a Strong Energy. I know it's hard to see there on the screen, but I did happen to catch that while I was watching this. So N's only strategy is to do what he can with Lucario for now and save that Meditite on the bench until he can power it up and start dealing some damage. So he's going to knock out Seismitoad EX with the first attack, Missile Jab, for 50, 60, 70 total damage, and finally take 2 prizes in this matchup. So he's not going to get shut out entirely. At least now he's got a 2 prize pickup anyway, versus Branden, who I believe now has 3 prizes left. 2 or 3, I can't remember which one. It's hard to see. His prizes are hidden from me there. So he's going to evolve into Crobat there, and that ability puts 30 damage on that Meditite on the bench. So he's going to play a Super Scoop up here, which he's going to pick up everything. There you see N picking up the dice so you guys can see it. Going to play that Zubat in the active position, and of course, now he's going to play that Zubat down, and now he can evolve into Golbat, knocking out that Meditite. This is exactly what I was talking about. Those poor Meditites on the bench don't stand a chance to a deck that has bats. So he's going to attach a double colorless energy that he picked up off of the Crobat to the Seismitoad on the bench and play a Hypnotoxic Laser. Once again, another Tails, no sleep, but he is going to be poisoned, so he'll take 10 damage in between turns unless Branden can put together a combination with Burbank City Gym once again, but he may be out of Burbanks by now. So we see him retreat for free with Golbat into Seismitoad and Quaking Punch with N putting the wrong amount of damage on there, thinking he had a Muscle Band attached when he did not. Branden correcting it because he is a very good guy and plays the game very fair. He's not just going to let that go. So we see N there go to 40 damage due to Quaking Punch, still no items, and he's going to Karina for another... Oh no, he's going to Karina for a Riolu, actually. I didn't realize he was going for Riolu there. And whatever item he got, it doesn't really even matter because he can't play it due to Seismitoad's Quaking Punch, which is so annoying. Oh man, so many people are just done with Seismitoad, but no one can deny how good that it actually is. So we see Golbat evolve into Crobat there, gonna Sneaky Bite, or not Sneaky Bite, I forget what it's called. Whatever it is, it's gonna do 30 damage due to Lucario in the active position and a Seismitoad on the bench as well. So there we see a Juniper or Sycamore. He's going to get rid of all of the cards in his hand, go for another fresh 7, and then Headringer on the Celebi because, hey, why not? I mean, he's not going to be able to do anything else with it, so get it out of his hand, attach it to that Celebi. We see a Golbat come down, Sneaky Bite onto the active for another 20 damage. Now we're up to 100. Oh, man. Poor N. It's just not looking good for him. 120 total damage now on that Lucario. No, I'm sorry, 140 total damage due to Poison and Quaking Punch. N is going to play a Professor Sycamore in hopes of getting something to do here. Just not a whole lot of options left for him at this point. He's really just kind of stuck. Poor Lucario in the active. This deck is just so susceptible to bats. He's going to have to retreat and throw away that energy. At least he's no longer poisoned. Puts the Riolu into the active position in a last-ditch attempt to just try to buy some time with Branden only having 2 prizes left in this match. It's a tough position to be in, but we've all been there. Seismitoad Bats is a very, very good and consistently powerful deck, and not a whole lot can stand up to it. So Brandon's going to play an Ultra Ball, discarding a Team Flare Grunt and a Water Energy, and he's going to go for a Golbat, which is going to do 30 damage to the bench, which brings Lucario to 170 total damage, only 10 away from being knocked out at this point, which is so bad. We see a VS Seeker come down for the Lysander, bringing up that Lucario EX, and Quaking Punch for the knockout in the game. So N takes the loss here against Brandon, but it was his only loss of the League Challenge, so he did very, very well regardless. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more TCG action here in the future. And again, big thanks to Brandon for letting us film this. And that's going to be it for today, guys. So we will see you guys next time. I'm Professor K for the Pokemon Evolutionaries.